Many people believe that walking every day is enough to stay healthy after 60. But what if some of the ways you're walking are quietly speeding up the aging process instead of slowing it down? And the surprising part is that these mistakes often don't cause pain right away. Instead, they slowly affect your muscles, your balance, your heart, your joints, and even your independence. Today, you'll discover 7 walking mistakes backed by research, why they matter, and simple changes that can help you stay stronger, steadier, and more confident for years to come. But one mistake near the end is often overlooked, even by people who walk every single day. So let's talk about why this matters so much right now, at this stage of your life. Researchers who study aging have found something remarkable. The speed at which you naturally walk, without even trying, can tell a story about your whole body. It's connected to your heart, your lungs, your muscles, and your nervous system, all working together. In fact, large studies following thousands of older adults have found that people who walk just a little faster tend to live longer, healthier lives than people who walk more slowly. Even a small difference in your everyday walking pace is linked to a meaningfully different path forward. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to show you something hopeful. Because walking speed isn't fixed. It's not something written in stone the day you turn 60. It responds to how you walk, how often, and in what way. Which means the mistakes we're about to cover aren't permanent. They're fixable. And once you know them, you can start correcting them today. So let's start with the first one, because it's probably the most common and the easiest to miss in yourself. Have you noticed that your walks feel comfortable? Almost too comfortable? You step outside, you move at an easy, relaxed pace, you never really breathe hard, and you come home feeling like you did something good for your body? Here's the surprising part. That gentle, easy pace, the one that never challenges you, may not be doing as much as you think. Researchers have found that habitually slow walking is more than just a symptom of aging. It can actually be a marker of where your health is heading. Walking that never raises your heart rate, never makes you a little breathless, doesn't give your heart, your lungs, or your muscles a reason to adapt and get stronger. Think of it like this. Your muscles and your cardiovascular system are a bit like a team that only stays sharp when they're occasionally asked to work harder. If you always ask them to do the easiest possible job, they quietly downgrade their own capacity over time. But that raises another question. How do you know if you're walking too slowly? A simple guide researchers use is your cadence, which just means how many steps you take per minute. Somewhere around 100 steps a minute is often considered a helpful marker of moderate effort for many people. Another simple test is your breathing. You should be able to talk but not sing comfortably. The fix here isn't complicated, and it isn't about walking for hours. It's about occasionally picking up your pace. Even short bursts help. And that leads us directly into the second mistake, one that's closely connected to the first. Do you always walk at exactly the same speed, from the moment you start to the moment you finish? This is incredibly common, and it feels natural. Find a comfortable pace, keep it the whole way. But here's where things become interesting. Some of the strongest research on walking and aging has come from studies comparing 2 groups. One group walked at a steady, moderate pace the entire time. The other group alternated, walking faster for a few minutes, then slower to recover, then faster again. The group that varied their pace saw noticeably better improvements, stronger thigh muscles, better aerobic fitness, even better blood pressure numbers. And this happened even though they weren't walking for longer or covering more distance. Why would that be? Your body adapts to challenges, not to routine. When your pace never changes, your muscles and your heart settle into a rhythm and stop working to improve. But when you introduce even a few minutes of faster walking, followed by recovery, you're asking your body to do something new. And that's exactly the kind of signal that triggers real adaptation. This doesn't mean turning your daily walk into a workout. It can be as simple as walking briskly to the next mailbox, then easing off, then picking it up again. Small, playful changes in pace, sprinkled through your walk. But your muscles and your heart aren't the only things affected by how you walk. Your posture plays a bigger role than most people realize. Do you find yourself looking down at the ground while you walk? Almost everyone does this sometimes, especially on uneven sidewalks. But have you noticed it becoming your default, your resting position, even on flat, familiar ground? And here's something else to notice. Do you lean slightly forward as you walk, almost as if you're being pulled ahead by gravity? These two habits often show up together, and there's a reason they matter more than people expect. When you look down constantly and lean forward, you change how your body balances itself. Your center of gravity shifts. Your inner ear and your eyes, which work together to keep you steady, get less useful information about the world around you. This is where things become even more interesting. Some of the systems your body uses for balance, like your inner ear and your sense of where your joints are in space, naturally become a little less sharp with age. Walking with your gaze up and your posture tall doesn't reverse that decline entirely, but it does give those systems the information they need to work as well as they still can. So here's a gentle experiment for your next walk. Try lifting your gaze so you're looking ahead, softly, instead of down at your feet. Let your shoulders relax back instead of curling forward. You may notice you feel steadier almost immediately, but posture is only part of the picture. What's happening with your actual steps might be even more telling. Do your feet ever drag slightly as you walk? Do you notice a soft shuffling sound from your shoes on the pavement, something that wasn't there years ago? This is one of the most researched signals in walking and aging, and it's more important than most people realize. Studies following more than 14,000 older adults found that people with shorter strides, meaning shorter steps, were significantly more likely to experience serious health events down the road, compared to people with longer, fuller steps. But here's the part that surprised even researchers. It's not just about weak thigh muscles, the ones most people think about first. A major driver of shortened steps is weakness in your calf muscles, the ones that push you forward with each step. As those muscles weaken, your hips try to compensate, but they can't fully replace that pushing power. The result is a shorter, more cautious step. This often happens so gradually that you don't notice it day to day. It's the kind of change you only spot looking back, comparing how you walk now to how you walked 5 or 10 years ago. The encouraging news is that calf strength responds well to simple exercises. Something as basic as rising up onto your toes, holding briefly, then lowering back down, done a few times a day, can help rebuild that pushing power over time. And as your calves get stronger, your natural stride often lengthens right along with them. But walking itself, even done perfectly, has a limit to what it can do alone. And that brings us to a mistake that surprises a lot of people who consider themselves very active walkers. Do you walk every single day, rain or shine, and feel confident that's enough to keep your muscles strong? It's an understandable belief. Walking is exercise after all. But here's the part that even dedicated walkers often don't know. Every major health organization that studies aging, including groups like the American College of Sports Medicine and the National Institute on Aging, agrees on something important. Walking alone is not enough to fully protect your muscles from the natural muscle loss that comes with age, something researchers call sarcopenia. Why not? Walking is what's called a lower intensity, repetitive movement. It's wonderful for your heart, your joints, your mood, and your balance. But it doesn't put enough resistance on your muscles to maximally preserve their strength as you get older. For that, your body needs a different kind of signal, the kind that comes from resistance or strength training. This isn't about lifting heavy weights at a gym, unless you want to. It can be as simple as sit-to-stand exercises, rising from a chair without using your hands a couple of times a day, or standing on one leg briefly, near a counter for support, to challenge your balance. Guidelines generally recommend this kind of strength and balance work at least 2 days a week, alongside your regular walking. Think of walking and strength training as two different tools that work together. Walking keeps the engine running, Strength training keeps the frame strong enough to carry it. But even your shoes, something most people give very little thought to, can quietly work against you. Have you chosen your walking shoes mainly based on comfort, without thinking much about stability? It's completely understandable. Comfortable shoes feel good. But some research suggests that shoes with extremely thick, overly cushioned soles, the kind that feel like walking on a cloud, can actually reduce the feedback your feet send to your brain about the ground beneath you. That feedback is part of how your body maintains balance with every step. The evidence here isn't as strong or as certain as some of the other points we've covered, so it's worth holding loosely. But the general guidance that does have solid support is this. Look for shoes with a supportive heel, enough flexibility to allow natural foot movement, and a fit that feels secure, not sliding or wobbling. Your shoes should help you feel the ground, not disconnect you from it. Now here's the mistake we mentioned at the very beginning, the one that even people who walk daily, faithfully, for years, often overlook completely. Do you always walk the same route? The same flat, familiar sidewalk? Or the same quiet indoor space, day after day? It feels safe, and in some ways, it is safe. But here's the surprising part. Your balance systems, the ones involving your inner ear, your eyes, and the sense receptors in your joints and muscles, stay sharp through challenge, not through repetition. Walking exclusively on flat, predictable surfaces means those systems rarely get asked to do anything new. Some emerging research suggests that gently varying your terrain, a grassy patch, a slight incline, turning your head to look side to side while walking, can help keep those balance systems more finely tuned. This isn't about seeking out risky, uneven ground. It's about occasionally, safely, giving your balance system a small, new challenge. The same way we talked about giving your muscles a small new challenge with pace changes. This is often the piece that gets left out, because it doesn't feel like exercise in the traditional sense. But your ability to navigate a curb, a patch of gravel, or a crowded sidewalk depends on exactly this kind of ongoing practice. So here's where all of this comes together. None of these 7 mistakes are about doing something dramatically wrong. They're about small habits, an easy pace that never changes, a gaze that stays on the ground, shorter steps that crept in slowly, walking without any strength work alongside it, shoes chosen for comfort alone, and a route that never varies. Each one, on its own, seems harmless. But together, over years, they can quietly shape how you move, how confident you feel, and how independent you stay. The most hopeful part of everything we've covered today is this. Every single one of these patterns can be gently corrected, not through an extreme overhaul of your life, but through small, realistic adjustments sprinkled into the walk you already take. If you only remember one thing from today, let it be this. Your walking speed, your posture, and your stride are not simply signs of how old you are. They're signals your body is giving you, and signals you can influence, starting with your very next walk. So here's a question for you. Which of these 7 mistakes do you think might apply to you? Is it the pace that never changes, the gaze that drifts down, or maybe the shoes you've never really questioned? Leave a comment and let me know. I genuinely love to hear where you're starting from. If this video helped you see your daily walk a little differently, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. And if you're wondering what to focus on next, you might want to watch the video where we walk through simple, safe strength exercises you can do at home, no gym required, to protect your muscles for the years ahead. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.